Okay, so I said yesterday, hey, it's July. So any little breadcrumb of an NBA or star rumor, it's an inferno. I don't buy LeBron James is going to get traded. He's still really good. It's an expiring contract. Let's see what happens to the trade deadline. The Lakers could have even more leverage. But I'm looking at the betting odds today, and they are heating up that Dallas is the favorite now to get LeBron James. Well, if that's the case, LeBron wins again. No state tax, upgraded coach, Cooper Flag, reunited with Anthony Davis. Are you kidding me? Let's be honest about the Lakers. I think J.J. Redick had a decent first year. I like him. We don't know if he's ever going to be as good as Jason Kidd. Maybe not. He got worked in the series against Minnesota. DeAndre Ayton doesn't defend and has an attitude and has in Phoenix and Portland. Austin Reeves, I'm told, can't trade him. Really? Seriously? Not much of a bench, not much size. So, or no state tax, Jason Kidd, unbelievable size, including AD. I said this, yet you have Luka. But here's a potential lineup. Now, for simplicity's sake, I said if you did a trade, let's say you give them Klay Thompson, P.J. Washington, Daniel Gafford, 2 to 3 first-round picks. This is the Mavericks lineup. Kyrie Irving, Cooper Flag, LeBron, Anthony Davis, and Derek Lively. Now, again, they'll probably need a third team, and you'll have to give up a couple of first-round picks. But who cares? You have Cooper Flag and Derek Lively. You got a great wing and a great big on rookie deals for years. So you're telling me this is a punishment for LeBron? I would sign up for that today. Better coach, reunited with two guys I've played very well with and won a title with, Kyrie and Anthony Davis, and the great domestic star. And here's the thing with LeBron. LeBron is 41 years old. He does not want to be on the floor defending at an elite level. He doesn't. Well, Anthony Davis and Lively are great rim protectors. So you don't have to worry about that. And Cooper Flag, at least at the college level, is an excellent defender. I don't know if Cooper Flag is going to be a great offensive player in the NBA. He's going to be a really good defender. Okay, so he may only average 24 tops. I don't know. He'll defend year one. So if this is the punishment for LeBron James, sign up now for it. I don't think it's going to happen. Here was Anthony Slater from The Athletic on a potential LeBron trade out of L.A.
The Lakers, can go search for a younger co-star for Luka Doncic in the market if they want to. Flexibility, optionality has become a popular term in the league, and that's clearly what the Lakers are prioritizing here. And it's understandable. Just look at the ages, right? LeBron's going to turn 41 next year. It's unbelievable what he's been able to do. But as you mentioned, locking into longer term money on him, kind of handcuffs them a little bit on building around Luka.
Listen, if LeBron won a fourth title and that team with Anthony Davis, if you could keep Lively and Anthony Davis as rim protectors, because you're going to have to they have so much depth in Dallas in their front line. They're huge. Best center rotation in the league. Lakers need, DeAndre Ayton, you're going to be over him by like January 15th. You're going to be over his act. So you could get some size from Dallas, a bunch of draft picks, and I think that's what the new owners want. They don't want to be tied to like gigantic, massive contract. You'd probably have to give up Klay Thompson. He could come back to Los Angeles. Michael Thompson, his dad, a very nice guy, played for the Lakers. Send him draft picks, size. But if that's punishment, I said this, sports is a little like the stock market. It just depends on the day. The tariffs are going to ruin the economy. I don't know. I looked at the stock market this week. It's at 44,000 plus, the Dow. It just depends on the day, the moment, the reaction, investor sentiment. When this trade got done, Luka to the Lakers, it was the end of the Mavericks franchise. And I said on this show in front of this microphone, no, it's not. Now, Dallas fell apart physically, so it looked far worse than it was. But Laker fans got a glimpse of what Luka is. Singularly a profoundly gifted offensive player. That's what he is. And he kind of feels like he's aging quickly. So, I've always said this. You can talk about guys all you want. When they're on your team, you pay close attention. Everybody said Lakers are going to win titles and Dallas is done. And I kept saying, no, they're not. They've got a great coach. It's an attractive place. They got Kyrie. They've got Anthony Davis and a massive center rotation. And in the NBA, guards and bigs are really important right now. So, you know, you're going to have to defend Jokic. Going to have to defend Wemby. You got to defend Giannis. You know, you got to have bigs. OKC won a title. Had two bigs. Holmgren, Hartenstein. So it's just so funny the way sports works is everybody thought Dallas was doomed. If this thing came to fruition, sign me up for Dallas minimum Western Conference Finals. J-Mac doesn't want to hear it. I'm becoming a Mavericks fan. My only question is, would the GM, Nico Harrison, want to make another deal? I would do that deal in 1 second. I'd give you two bigs, 3 first-round picks, Klay Thompson, put in a third team. And every I've said this before. Austin Reeves with LeBron James, you're talking yourself into, wow. Put Austin Reeves in Washington, and he disappears. He disappears. Kyle Kuzma disappeared in Washington, and he's as talented as Austin Reeves, or close. So,
Colin, yeah. Obviously, if you're the Mavs, you do this deal in a heartbeat. What's in it for the Lakers? What are we doing? Those picks are going to be garbage. Those 2 or 3 picks, they're going to be like 27 to 32.
Well, remember, you have new ownership. And they want to build it their way. What did the Dodgers do when Mark Walter came in? Give us draft picks, get our front office right. They do not want aging players. The Lakers' history is size wins, get draft picks. And by the way, when LeBron contract is off the books and he's out, then you can go big game hunting in 1 year. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't. But if that's punishment for all the people that think LeBron's going to get traded, I would sign up today for that deal.
Well, wait a second. If I'm the Lakers, there's no way I'm doing the deal. But if you swap out Gafford for Lively, Lively's younger. He does seem a little injury prone. Younger and cheaper. I want that. I'm sorry. I don't want the Daniel Gafford contract on my books. By the way, the Lakers want clean books because they think maybe Jokic could be available in a year or two. Giannis could be available in a year or two. I don't know. Would they come to L.A. to play with Luka? I don't know.
Well, if San Antonio starts winning, you're going to have to go through Wemby. So if I'm the Lakers, the reason I think of doing this deal with Dallas is I need a front line. DeAndre Ayton doesn't defend. We may see it this year with all the way the dominoes are falling for San Antonio. The West may go through San Antonio, not Denver, Oklahoma City, if Wemby becomes what we think. Because Wemby's already got a couple of kids next to him that can really play. So if it has to go through Wemby, you can't have Jackson Hayes or DeAndre Ayton. You need multiple bigs and multiple fouls.
What about the Houston Rockets? Does Kevin Durant have a say in this? I think love that team right now.
I love that team this year and the next year. That's a 2-year team with KD. Let's see what transpires. Welcome back. You know, for years and years, I always said the audience drives the bus of this show. I watch you and see what you're watching, and then I follow your lead. And we were just talking about this as a staff. 3 years ago, I would not have been spending this much time on baseball or the WNBA. I watched the ratings. They increased. I follow you. So it's very refreshing for me in July. We don't have to talk a ton of NFL yet because there's really good stuff going on. And last night I watched, as I was watching the All-Star game, I was on another TV. I was watching Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. So I've compared her to Michael Jordan, not stylistically, obviously, but in merchandise sales, kind of a dynastic TV rating changer. And in year one, like you just were like, wow, nobody plays like that. And then in year two, Michael Jordan got hurt. And then in year two for Caitlin Clark, she's getting banged up and hurt. Why did MJ always get hurt early? Because they were tackling him. Nobody knew how to stop him. And the WNBA officiating is just changed. Like it was always a physical league. Now it's insane. So last night she gets hurt again and she's in a shooting slump. And I think a lot of it is she's banged up in year two, like Michael Jordan. And Michael was fighting to come back and she's fighting to come back and she re-injured a groin. So she's still scoring and still a team leader and assists, but she's been banged up. And, you know, by the way, her brother went to social media last night. No lies told. Colin Clark said, make no mistake, this is on the reffing. And even Stephanie White, Fever coach, has noticed it. The officials are just letting a lot of stuff go that almost feels inappropriate.
I'm not exactly sure why, but it just is what it is. And we've got to help her learn to adjust and use it against them in certain ways. We've got to find some ways to make it a little bit easier for her. But the level of physicality overall in our league has been at a different level than it's been for a long time.
And so she's probably hurt again. And again, it has an MJ feel. Rocket to the moon, year 2, a lot of physicality allowed, injuries. Nobody quite knows how to defend her. The Pistons are picking on, the Celtics are picking on MJ, who's dropping 50, and Caitlin Clark now is alienating some of the players. And Hollywood knows how to handle stars. There's a playbook. But I noticed this when Tiger Woods came to the PGA Tour at the first, or Caitlin Clark, a little turbulence. They don't quite have a playbook on how to do it. And I think right now they need better officials. Right now, WNBA officials make less, according to the Washington Post, than college officials do. That's a problem. But what Caitlin Clark is she is a little bit like a black light in a hotel room, where she's illuminating all the flaws. And you bring that black light in, and need another cleaning crew in the hotel room. So first she illuminated the executive level of the WNBA and their inability to market or kind of see around corners. Then she illuminated how second and third tier the WNBA travel was. And then she sort of provided a glimpse of the pettiness and the tribal nature of this league, which is still young. Also she kind of provided a glimpse, a black light on the women's Olympic basketball movement and how silly that was and behind the curve that was. So she's really providing glimpses of, you're seeing all of it in real time, is that she's saying, guys, let's get better fast. And she's almost like a stress test to a power grid. And we've got rolling blackouts in the WNBA. The league, the marketing, the players, the travel. Now we're seeing the officiating needs to be upgraded. So I don't want to be too punitive, because the games are fun to watch when she's involved. But she is really kind of giving you a glimpse in real time of how the league needs to improve. And I think the officiating is the next step. That she's going to do to officiating what she did at travel. It's time to upgrade. You can't have college officials making more than WNBA officials. And I got nothing against college officiating. Women's basketball is, by and large, more national and popular than the WNBA has been for years until Caitlin arrived. But the officiating's out of control. I mean, Sophie Cunningham last night looked like hockey. It got checked into the boards. She's flopping. Not really. It was a stiff arm. I don't think it was flopping. So it's just the latest illumination. And this is what happened when a star shows up on tour. The marketing's got to get better. The travel's got to get better. The security's got to get better. The executive suite's got to get better. And you're seeing all of it.